Dan Kennedy here again, but not for long this time. This will be a brief rest stop for you between the previous videos and the next and last video. In this special video, you are going to get a sneak peek of an actual teaching segment from the Ultimate Lead Generation Machine. But before I show you that, I'd like to stimulate your imagination a bit about what the Ultimate Lead Generation Machine might do for you. You'll meet and hear from a few of my most avid students, my private clients, and leaders in the internet marketing space. I know some of them intimately. Some know me by study, and I have only a passing acquaintance with them. Some were skeptical about me at first. Some overcame great obstacles, transformed by them into wealth. Their stories speak for themselves and provide you with great clues for your success. One thing I need to say before we begin. Quite frankly, this may sound harsh and arrogant, but it needs to be on the record. Do not look at their remarks as my attempt to prove myself to you. I feel no such need. I stopped doing that long ago and everywhere I operate. In my private consulting work, I never do free consultations. Relationships begin with clients predetermined to hire me if they can. The power of the strategies I provide are well proven, overwhelmingly by huge numbers, earning billions of dollars over the years. That is why the most successful online marketers and offline business owners trek to Cleveland, often having to be on long waiting lists and pay my admittedly enormous fees to seek my advice and counsel. If you came here looking for truth and clarity about how to truly generate more qualified leads and traffic and convert these leads into paying customers, clients, or patients, you found it. And the people you are about to hear from will reinforce it. As you watch, pay close attention for clues to the success you want, and ask yourself, why not me? There's no need to envy any of them. You can join them. After this, I'll be back to share a video clip directly out of the Ultimate Lead Generation Machine.
There was one single event in my life that made a bigger difference than anything else that I've ever done in business. It took me from unknown to known and made me millions and millions of dollars in the period of just a few short weeks. And I can trace all of that back to Dan Kennedy.
It's remarkable what this guy does. I mean, he gives you know-how and guidance for everything you could possibly hope for in your business.
What did my future look like before I met Dan Kennedy? It was pretty bleak.
About 8 years ago, I got introduced to Dan Kennedy and to his philosophy and tactics and strategies, and it really changed my life. Up until then, I was marketing like every other personal injury attorney markets. Hey, I hope you call us because we've got a free consultation and there's no fee if no recovery. Dan really changed everything in my life.
I've been following Dan since I was 16, and I credit most of my success for building this multi-million-dollar business to the concepts that Dan's been teaching for years and years and years.
Literally, it truly changed the course of direction of how I developed my career, and what I do today is from those very early products that I bought from Dan.
I've been following Dan since I was in high school, college. I used to read my direct mail and things like that. And Dan's principles, the things that he taught, have been more valuable to me than my undergraduate degree in marketing and my MBA from one of the top 10 schools in the world.
In the best business school in the world, they don't teach the kind of stuff that Dan Kennedy teaches. And they surely don't teach it in such a way that if you actually implement it, you can see immediate results. You know, a lot of places you go, it's a lot of theory. Dan's stuff is not about theory.
I now know that no matter what happens with the economy, I not only have a plan A, I have a plan B through Z and beyond.
You know, I'm a true believer, and if you look back over the years, I know I've spent well over $100,000 in Dan's materials, in seminars, in private conferences, things like that. And it's, obviously, I wouldn't have spent that kind of money if I didn't think it was worthwhile. I wouldn't continue to spend that type of money, nor would I be teaching these materials to lawyers and other small business owners here in Virginia if I didn't believe that this truly was the answer to most small business owners' problems.
There's nothing better than investing in education with the GKIC community. If you think about how much money you spent on university or college, I know I spent, $60,000. I've spent $60,000 or $70,000 this year alone on education from people like Dan Kennedy. And the return on investment that I've been able to generate from my investment with Dan has been far greater than any investment I've made in college or university.
With Dan's help, you now have the resource you need. You're not going to get it from going back to school, to business school. I'm sorry. You're just not going to get this at a university. This is real world advice that works from somebody who's been in the trenches for years and years and years.
I'd have to say the sort of the two big things that really made a huge difference in our business. One was sort of Dan's big idea about building a relationship with a group of people, building a list of people, and then building a relationship with the list of people. And so Dan calls it, building a herd. And at first I was sort of offended when I heard building a herd. It wasn't even by building a herd. And then I began to realize what he was really saying, which is you want to build a following of people who, for whatever reason, and it's strategic, get to know you, or at least get to know the aspects of you that you allow them to get to know, and then build a relationship. And then once you build that relationship, build that bond of trust, then begin to take them in the direction that they need to go if they want to have success in their businesses.
Let me just give you one example of this. Here I am. I'm an internet marketer. I'm a social media marketer, and I publish on a print magazine that goes out to people. Why in the world would I ever do that? Well, the reason why is because you need to be integrating all these concepts. That's one of the things that I've learned from Dan over the years.
And again, so even if you're, in a 100% online business, like myself, I think it's very important, to learn about and use direct mail, even if only, just to enhance what you're doing online.
There's so much opportunity offline using direct mail. And what's interesting is the mailboxes now are empty. All that's in there is bills. So why not go to that channel, complement with your online business, and you really could double, triple it.
I've been doing more direct mail. As a matter of fact, I had my live event this year for auto repair shop owners, and I almost doubled my attendance. And a lot of people said, what do you attribute that to? Well, I can tell you exactly what I attribute it to. I did more direct mail for that event this year than I have in the past 5 years. The value that Dan brings to the program, Dan is the authority when it comes to direct mail.
I knew that I had to make a change in my business because I knew that the emails and the online stuff were just going to start to decrease more and more and more. So what I wanted to do was marry both the online stuff with the offline. So I knew I had to learn direct mail from the best. So I came to Dan Kennedy. He's the master at it.
And I got to tell you, even with an online business, you need to be thinking about direct mail. Now, I've done direct mail in my consulting business for clients for years, for my own business, but as I've moved more to an online model, I realized that the gap that I had in it was not doing enough direct mail. So if you're not doing mail, make sure you are, and if you're doing direct mail, it's time to take a look at it, make sure you're doing things smartly, doing it the right way, and there's no better teacher than Dan Kennedy.
In 2006, I started my business online, just like a lot of people, and I made a lot of money mailing online, email marketing online, Google and social media, and all the different great things that happen online. However, with all the crazy changes that are happening online, and today Facebook went public, and now the massive changes are going to happen online in the future, I've got to make sure I can still get buyers and make sure my lead generation works.
The principles that he teaches apply online, they apply offline, they work, and they will put money on your bottom line. Pay attention to this guy. Pick up the kinds of products that he offers it, because his stuff will change your business and change your life.
So thank you, Dan. Listen to Dan Kennedy, and I hope that he helps you even nearly as much as he's helped me so many times. And if he does, if you listen, he will, and you'll be off to the bank.
My advice would be to don't overthink it. Just follow exactly what the proven techniques are, and you will be super happy about the outcome.
Welcome back. Now there's something you should know about the people you just heard from. None of them received anything for recording their success stories. In fact, Ryan Dice, Brittany Lynch, Don Crowther, Jeff Walker, and Rich Schefren each created in-depth DVD tutorials for the ultimate lead generation machine at their own expense with no financial remuneration whatsoever. They did so as a way of saying thank you for the help and guidance I have given them over the years that has made them millions and millions of dollars. Okay, as I promised, I'm now going to give you a sneak peek into the ultimate lead generation machine. This next video clip is from a $3,000 per person seminar that people attended from 5 different countries. This entire event on DVD is just one of the parts you receive with the ultimate lead generation machine. Pay close attention and take good notes. I'll be back one more time with some important closing remarks. So, like in the fitness industry, there's purists. My client there sells to people who are purists, okay, who think anything but, you know, the brutal drill sergeant workout. I'm not talking about you, of course, I'm talking about Sean's guys. Okay? So they believe that, you know, anything less than a killer workout should not be sold to anybody. Okay? And so their ideology, okay, is in the way of everything else. Okay? So they get leads who raise their hands, who say, I want to fix this, I want to fix this, and then they show them, you're going to come to the gym 3 times a week for 3 hours every day, and we're going to beat the living crap out of you, and I'm going to yell at you, and you're going to drop and do 100, and the guy says, well, I don't want that solution, and then they don't sell them anything. Well, it's dumb as a box of rocks not to sell them something. Sell them. Keep going until you find what they want. At least you get them started. At least they started. So if they buy a Thigh Master and they sit on the couch at home and they use a Thigh Master, at least you got them started. What harm did you do? And if you refuse to sell them a Thigh Master, at least sell the lead to somebody who'll sell them a Thigh Master, right? And get the guy with the Thigh Master leads to give you their leads. Some of them will move up, all right? So in the information marketing world, you see this all the time. So with 5 different clients in the past 3 years, I fixed this. Because everybody has a flagship product they want to sell, right? Which is fine, and you want to sell that flagship thing. It's the best place for them to start. And so it's single funnel, drive everybody here, and send them a direct mail piece. They don't buy from the direct mail piece, we drive them to a webinar. They don't buy from the webinar, we drive them to a teleseminar. And we keep trying to sell them this flagship product. And they raise their hand because they're a real estate agent, and they're starving, and they need listings. So we keep trying to sell them this thing. And they keep saying no to this thing. Okay? At some point, let's try selling them something else that fulfills the same desire. I'm starving and I need listings. Okay? How about 82 ways to improve Craigslist advertising and get listings from Craigslist? Oh, okay, I'll buy that, because that sounds easy. Doesn't sound as hard as the thing you were trying to sell me before. I'm already buying ads on Craigslist. If I can just make them better, okay, so we'll sell them that. Now, even if we think, it's my conversation with my client, even if you think that's not what they ought to be doing, right? They're doing it anyway. You ain't going to stop them from doing it. So you don't like it, you don't think they ought to be doing it, you think it's stupid. But can you make what they're doing there that you can't stop them from doing better? Yes, I can. Well, then let's sell that to them. And then let's turn around and start trying to sell them, again, the thing you want to sell to them. Right? So one of the big follow-up mistakes people make is this dogged sticking to the one offer and never another solution and another solution and another solution to the thing that they wanted. As you can see, you are going to get real, practical, proven behind-the-scenes techniques and strategies from me and other lead generation and conversion experts that will dramatically increase your profits. In video number 4, you'll have the opportunity to go farther with me than these free videos. And whether you decide to do so or not may be very important to you, but candidly not to me. The investment I'll ask of you will be less than 2% of a $100,000 a year income or income increase, but it represents less than 1/100th of 1% of mine. So whether you invest in the ultimate lead generation machine or not will not affect my income or lifestyle, but it could make a dramatic, life-changing impact on yours. The offer in video number 4, which is coming in a few days, is for your benefit, not mine. I'll talk to you soon.